And he was 30 years old, 31 years old?
He was 31, yes, when he passed away.
Uh-huh.
He was always pretty adventurous. He and my ex-wife spent some time in California about from the age of 9, and that's where he kind of went to high school out there, and went to Berkeley, UC Berkeley. And but he loved traveling, always traveling. He played rugby in Australia, played rugby in New Zealand, and
wow.
Played all over.
Football with no pads.
Yeah, that's what that is.
Well, he was a big guy.
Yeah, he was pretty tough too. He enjoyed the contact, and God bless him, he had a chance to. A couple of years, when he was in his own business, he had a chance to travel all over to Israel, and he ran with the Bulls in Paloma, Spain, and he had to run twice because he didn't get cut the first time, so he had to go back and do it again the next day to get a little gash on him. So, and he and his friends. And
he needed a souvenir.
Yeah, he had to have a souvenir. And,
how did you first hear about what was happening?
Well, I was watching TV like everybody was that morning, it seemed like, and saw the plane crash into the tower and then the other tower, and then you knew that, you know, we were in trouble. I've been trying to get a hold of him, his cell phone, trying to get his office phone. He just opened a new office, and what I wanted to get a hold of him for was to find out where his office was, because I couldn't remember in comparison to where the towers were going down. So I couldn't remember exactly.
So he lived in New York City at the time?
He had his office, he just put an office in New York City. He had in California, in San Francisco, and then he'd been in there about 6 months at his New York address.
And you lived in Florida at this time?
Yes, I lived in Florida at this time, in Leesburg, Florida.
Leesburg, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're trying to get a hold of him while this is all
going on.
While
this is all going on, and couldn't get any information. And I really didn't find out anything till his uncle in California called me, and my ex-wife was there, his mom, and that's when I found out. But he had said that he had talked to my ex-wife on the phone, Alice, and said that he loved us and that they're going to do something. Yeah, while they were on the plane.
Yeah.
There was 29 phone calls made from the plane. And Alice thought he was kidding about the plane. You know, he said there's a guy on board with a bomb, and he said we're going to do something about it, and to that effect. And she kind of thought he was kidding at first, but there was a guy on board with a bomb. Then when it turned and wasn't going to California anymore, was heading back to the White House. And when it started heading that way, then they knew they had to do something. And there was a pilot on board, and as a passenger, and they thought if they could take over the hijackers, they could fly the plane. And that's I think if they'd had maybe another 2 to 5 minutes, they would have had the plane, and I believe they could have flown every week to Pennsylvania, at least maybe twice or 3 times a year.
I can't imagine a day goes by you don't think about it.
Oh. Nope. You have to go forward. You know, you realize that you have to go forward in life. And you know, my son was just a good time guy. You know what I mean? He always enjoyed life. So you got to keep that in the back of your mind too.
This is something that we threw together when we had his memorial, because it kind of shows. Move, Jerry.
Yeah.
It kind of shows. This is our wedding. As you can see how tall he is. But these are things that we did, and we kind of had to put this together quickly. As you can see, they threw cake in his face for his birthday.
But we've been to the first memorial we had in Shanksville up there in Somerset. They had United Airlines, you know, brought all the family members in, and we all, this was about the 17th, and we had to, you know, when the planes started flying again, I don't know if you remember, you know, it was about a week they didn't fly.
Right.
And so we finally got a flight to go to Shanksville. Then the next year we decided we're going to build a memorial, and that's what we've been doing, you know, now, and we finally raised enough money.
Is that the memorial right here?
Yes, that was the ground.
There, is that the shovel you used?
Yes. Yeah. Now that hat was when we went to New York to pay our respects up there. They gave us that hat, and they gave us a lot of. They made me official detective.
Oh.
And they were
yeah,
real.
he's an effective New York police detective.
Where did you get the flags?
The flags are flown. One was flown over the Capitol. Okay, and then one was flown. One was flown around the world. You know.
The 11th, not this year, but next year will be the grand opening. We broke ground last year, and so the first phase should be done, which includes, I believe, almost the whole building will be completed. But what they do in Pennsylvania is that people visit the site and they leave things. They leave pictures and flowers, and they leave trinkets, and they leave hats, and they leave T-shirts, and they record all these, and all these will be in the memorial. They've been, you know, since September 12th. This started, and people in Pennsylvania, they good take care of us. You know, they do everything for us. They watch them. They got volunteers that watch over the place. It's really, but I think you get such a feeling when you go up there. There's what is what's hard to explain, why people just feel like they gotta leave something. They feel like they gotta, you know, give back or do something.